It's Glenn Dietzel here from Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine, and I've got Troy Broussard with me right now, and I'm really excited to have Troy talk to you. Troy, tell us a little bit. You've got an amazing lifestyle. Tell us a little bit about your lifestyle.
Well, Glenn, just started everything over 2 or 3 years ago, and I decided I was turning about 40 at the time, and I said, you know what, it's deja vu all over again. If I'm going to restart everything at 40, I'm going to do it the way I want. And so I designed the life that I wanted. I've got an international lifestyle. My children and my children with my ex are down in Brazil, so I travel back and forth between a couple homes that I have down in Brazil and the Oregon on the West Coast, where I did a bunch of land development in a previous life. And then to make the commute easier, I bought a place here in Orlando area. So most of the time I'm in Orlando now, but I do spend a lot of time on the road with my trusty Mac Air. Have Mac Air, will travel.
Tell us about a cash lifestyle. You've got a pretty cool lifestyle. Talk to us a little bit about cash.
Yeah, I have been around the block a couple times and went through some devastating losses before. When the real estate system collapsed in 2008, I was heavy into land development at the time. And so when I started everything new, I really just kind of vowed to myself that I was not going to get into a bunch of debt. And so today it's really about simplicity of lifestyle for me. I spend quite a bit with the international stuff, but I do everything, almost everything cash. A couple of my homes are paid for. I don't have much finance debt. I don't even carry credit cards. And so that's just the way I do things. I like to keep on the cash system and keep savings and live simple. I think it takes the stress off my shoulders and keeps my life under control by not putting that burden of debt on me all the time.
Great advice, Troy. Thanks. I know one thing that you're really big about is it's lifestyle and not possessions. Yeah. Talk to us about that.
Well, I think that with age comes wisdom, they say, or at least we hope it does, right? And having lost everything a couple of times in life and started over from scratch, I realized that it really wasn't about the possessions to me. And having spent a lot of time overseas in Brazil and living with very, very little, I realized that there was almost a comfort in that for me, of not having the burden of having so many material things that you have to keep up with and pay for and always be concerned about. So I really live a fairly simple lifestyle now, even though it may be a bit of an expensive lifestyle in the sense of traveling and such. I really don't have what most Americans would consider expensive habits or expensive tastes. It's just, I feel more comfortable with that, living with less.
Yeah, you talk about the simplicity of business and lifestyle, et cetera. Yet, it's kind of funny, but when you cross the border, all of a sudden people notice the complexity of who you are. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I recently had a fun trip out to Canada for sure, and got harassed quite a bit at the border. In fact, in 27 years of going through many, many countries, all through Latin and South America, I'd never had so much difficulty as I had going through Canada. But it was because they looked at me. I was flying in from Orlando. My passport was from California, and my driver's license was from Brazil, and my American driver's license was from Oregon, and they just couldn't connect all the dots, Glenn. So, that's the way it is sometimes.
I guess we're a little slow here in Canada, eh?
No, nothing against my Canada friends.
Yeah, you're a huge proponent of technology, and you've certainly used technology to better your lifestyle. Talk to us about a tip or a secret about the use of technology.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe, I'm a former software developer, and I believe in using technology to help your life, not make it more difficult. So just as a simple thing, when I'm doing coaching with my mastermind students and such, I have everything automatically recorded through Skype. I do all of my calls through Skype. I automatically save those recordings. They're configured to go straight into a Dropbox account that I have an outsourcer that when they see the new files come into Dropbox on their computer, they just begin to transcribe them, send them back to me, and I post them right into the membership areas. Things like that, where I don't have to have a lot of direct involvement. Or using on my Mac, I use dictation, and so that I can create blog posts and create content easily without wasting a lot of time. I'll dictate it, I'll send it off to an editor, they'll clean it up, handle handle the formatting, select the images, do the posting, all of that stuff. So I really believe in separating the core from the mechanical tasks and letting technology automate those mechanical tasks as much as absolutely possible. And today there's just tons of great stuff out there. If you spend a little bit of time looking for it, you'll find things that can just free up hours and hours and hours in your week.
Yeah, fantastic advice, Troy. Thanks. Life is short, as we all know. Why don't you talk to us about something that's, something along that line that helps you reconnect with the essence of life around the whole concept that life is short?
Yeah, that was a lesson I learned at a very young age, Glenn. When I was 10 years old, my older sister was 18, and she was killed in a car accident that was not her fault. It was actually the negligence of a police officer not doing his job. And I just realized I was forced to grow up very quickly. And I realized that there really is no tomorrow guarantee, that we don't have anything but now. And I never became like a huge risk taker or somebody jumping out of airplanes, although I do fly airplanes. So I don't believe in that, just living on the edge and the risk, but I do believe in living in the now. I do believe in being present when you're here, right? So when you take time out to be with your family, the electronics get turned off, the time is with the family and being really present in the moment. I think that that's what I have most learned. It's hard for me with my children in Brazil. I don't get to see them as much as I would like to. I go down there about every 45 days and spend a couple weeks being Mr. Mom. But when I'm there, I'm there. I pick them up from school, I make them lunch, we walk to the padaria, the local bakery together, and spend quality time. So to me, it's about being present in the now and realizing that, tomorrow is not guaranteed, not in the success, but not in the failure either. So when something isn't going right, realize it's just a day. It's just a small day in your life. And even if it's a 3-month window and business is down or something, you know what? You'll bounce back from it. Just put it in perspective and focus on the now and focus what you're doing today. And I found that really helps me in life.
Thanks, Troy. Focusing on the now. Look for value within, look without for perspective, and that's great advice. I want to thank you, Troy, for taking some of your time in your busy schedule to connect with our listeners and our readers and our watchers. So anyways, thanks a ton, Troy. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Glenn. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you.
You're welcome.